Good morning, YouTube. We're going to take it as it comes. Take it as it comes, YouTube. All praises to the Creator for another day of life. We're taking it as it comes. Just going to give y'all some real life type vibration that's going on. This is a morning Israel for those who may be new. So I wake up this morning. All praises to the Creator. And I'm like, oh, you know what I'm going to... I get up and go to the gym. So I gets up. I go to the gym. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going early because today's Friday. I got to get done early. Everything I got to do. Boom. So I said, let me get myself together. I'm going somewhere with this, y'all. What's the name of this thing here? I was going to talk about something else. But this like literally just happened. And I just have to shake my head. Why? Why? I don't understand, the whole thou shall not steal. Criminals. So here I was checking my stuff to make sure, I pay what I need to pay and do what I need to do. And all of a sudden, I see 3 charges from Pollo Tropical. And I'm like, Pollo Tropical? I don't eat at Pollo Tropical. So I decided to do a little investigation in Miami, no less. And then another, wherever Ima supermarket, that somebody feels need to steal my stuff and treat their homies, their family, and their friends to some arroz con pollo, pollo tropical. What in the world is going on? Charge after charge after charge. Yeah. So that's what I was dealing with this morning, y'all. Somebody stole my credit. I don't even know how they got the number. And took their homies and everybody to Pollo Tropical. And then repeatedly in the same day. So I had to go through that whole, like, this is not me. I'm not in Miami eating Pollo Tropical. And whoever stole my stuff and ate Pollo Tropical in Miami, you're wrong. Like, this is why, you see why humanity has a problem. See, and this can lead me right on into, the things that are so simple that it boggles the mind. Would someone, this is why it says don't steal. Would you like for someone else, you don't know what position the person is in, you don't know what they do to stay alive, would you like for someone to come into your space, and take that which is not theirs without permission and use it? Like, for those who say the commandments are done away with, in order to keep peace and order in society, you need laws and structure. And you need to be dealt with when you violate laws and structure, right? And we live in a world where, one time I saw this credit card scammy thing where the people steal people credit card, and the dude actually had the credit card machine in his house where he could put the numbers in and press it and actually make a credit card. That was crazy. It was on YouTube somewhere. It was a documentary of some sort. Don't steal. Don't steal, because again, it's only a matter of time before that which you have taken will be required of you. And if we think no one sees us and we'll never get caught up with, somebody might have diarrhea for stealing my information to go buy Pollo Tropical. You see what I'm saying? This is the type of stuff that happens when we the people have no chill, man. It's like 101. So it's difficult to tell children not to do things when the adults themselves are doing said things. When we see it in children, we're like, oh no, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't beat up little Johnny, and they turn around and be like, yo, little Johnny stole my such and such. You know what I mean? And people feel violated. That's exactly what it is. It's a feeling of being violated. Welcome to those who just joined us. This is a little tiny real life mini rant, mini what in the world. Not only did they go to Pollo Tropical 3 times in a row, y'all, these jokers went to the supermarket. What you gonna make next? And it seems like it's in a Spanish area in Miami. What are you gonna make next? I need to know. Amuna would like to know. Now that you shopping spreeing on my little yummy money, what do you plan to do next? You know what I mean? You gonna show me how to make the empanadas properly? Like, did you see my video and you not feeling the empanadas? She's like, yo, I'm gonna show her, she's appropriating our culture. Like, what's going on, Jason? Yeah, theft is so real. Like, it's unnecessary. I just got off the phone with the people. All I kept saying, like, yo, son, I'm not eating that pollo tropical. That is not me. Like, I personally glad I'm back. All praise to the creator. I'm just gonna have to share some real life. I can't get into my deep research as I usually do because there's just a lot going on. There's a lot going on. And when I research, like, I go deep into these spaces and yeah. And I'm not able to do that at this time. I had a business partner. Hold on. Uh-oh. Let me read here. Has anyone stolen from you guys? And let me know how you felt about being stolen from. I'll tell you another story about when somebody robbed me. But let me see. I had a Black American business partner invested in Kenya with me. And this is from Jason. And I'm in Kenya. And he stole. Oh, I'm hollering about some Pollo Tropical. He stole $13K from the business account? What? I refuse to go into business. You see this? You see this? So when we say, why can't we work together? What's the problem? The question is the ethics of the people. The question is the morale of the people. I was taught, do not take, and I teach my children this day, do not take anything that is not yours, that you did not work for, that somebody did not expressly say you can have. Do not touch it. Do not take it. It is not yours. Jason says somebody 13K. This is what we're faced with when we're wondering why we can't move forward in certain areas, because we honestly don't trust. And in some spaces for right reason. I'm going to tell y'all a story about when somebody, this is not Pollo Tropical, this just happened, but this was years ago when I was in art school. And this is idea theft, right? So we're in art school, and I was living in Fort Lauderdale. And there was another melanated brother, okay? And the teacher gives us a project, like, this is what I need you to do, a project. I forgot the exact language that the teacher used, right? But we needed to do a project. So we went outside, and I'm sitting there. I think it was like Innocence or something along those lines. They give you a theme, and then you have to come up with what it is you're going to do, what picture you're going to draw that's going to convey this. So I'm outside, and I'm like, man, I got an idea. So this melanated brother comes up and is like, oh, what are your thoughts? What do you think you're going to do? Me, like an idiot, a fool over here. Like, because as soon as the teacher gave us the assignment, the whole thing just popped into my head, because that's how my mind works, right? And I saw the whole thing. So I was like, I'm gonna do, a young boy. This was like back in 2000. This was a long time ago. This was like 19 years ago. So I'm like, I'm gonna do a young boy sitting down in the home. He's in front of the TV. The TV is, and he's engrossed in it. His mother's in the back. She kind of in the shadow in the picture, and she's stressed over bills. And basically, the message was that the TV, the single motherhood, she's stressed over bills, and that the television is raising the child, and his innocence is lost through this. Boom. I'm like, yeah, I see it. I'm a joint. It's going to be the bomb. We gets back to class, y'all. This is a true story. I might have to just get some Amuna story time. Like, how do you know all this stuff? Man, I had some experiences. True story. So I go back to class. We go back to class. And so the teacher is calling everyone up to see what is going to be your example. What are you going to do? What are your thoughts? Right? So he happens to call the melanated brother up first. And I happen to go to throw something away at the trash can. When I passed the teacher and this melanated brother, would you believe what he was telling the teacher? My exact idea. I just froze. I didn't know what to do. I was like, what? This dude stole my entire idea, lock, stock, and barrel. And on the fly, because now we're going up to the desk, on the fly, I have to come up with a totally new idea that is not as fly as my first idea. And do you know this boy actually drew it? I was tight. So, yes, it's not a nice feeling when someone steals from you, whether it's your intellectual property, your physical property, your credit. If anybody's in these spaces teaching you how to steal from, exploit, or do something that is eventually going to hurt another human being, understand that you're going to have to pay for that. I got one more story when somebody stole something. Years ago, long time ago. This was Miami too. This was Miami, Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale. Where were we? I think it was Fort Lauderdale, Miami. It was a while. It was like 20 years ago. And we were going out. And you know you go out, so you don't carry no big purse and all of this stuff like this. Yes, Amuna used to go out back in the day, right? And I had my money and my ID in my hand, right? This is why you have to be careful, because you have a heart for people. People take advantage of that. You had the money in my hand, my ID in my hand, because we were at the gas station and then we were gonna go to the location. So say I have it in my hand like this, right? And somebody comes up to the car like, "Excuse me, miss, do you have any change?" Da 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 da. You know the whole spiel. So I look down, right? This is a true story. I look down, another sister with me, and we're looking down to see if we have any change. Home girl, because I remember I had the ID and like a 20 in my hand. Home girl reaches into the car, snatches my money and my ID, and runs off. So I jumps out the car, get a little Brooklyn, right? And I'm like, "Yo, what in the world?" Da 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 da. And I'm like, "Yo, give me back my ID, son. Like, you stole a 20. Yo, give me back my ID." Most I had it that homegirl dropped the ID and ran off and jumped in the car and drove away. Can you imagine? I was shocked. I was like, "What in the world?" Once again. You know what I mean? Like, who asks for change and then reaches in the window and snatches, you know what I mean, what's that theirs? Crazy people. Crazy people who do it. So I went and picked my ID up. And I was like, wow, I can't believe this. You know, who would do such a thing? And the story continues that later on that night, by what do they call it? Providence, $20 came back to me. This is a true story. So again, I say being robbed is however it is, being stolen from somebody, taking something from you is not a good feeling. So thou should not steal is real. Whoever's eating pollo tropical and inviting their friends and family to eat pollo tropical and stealing the yummy money, remember, it will come back to you. Anyway, that's my thoughts for the day, y'all. Maybe I'll share more little crazy stories. I have a lot of crazy stories. Been through a lot, man. Been through a lot. But we're going to keep pushing. I'm about to make these burgers. Somebody ordered them. I'm going to pick them up on Sunday. So I'm waiting for my beans to cool, y'all. And yeah, hope everybody have a blessed day. Wee! I hope everybody have a blessed day. Let me see. Yeah, I've been protected for the most part, though. I would say living in New York, I used to be wild because I used to have a job where I come home 1 o'clock in the morning. But I'm from Brooklyn, so I wasn't really afraid. Them time that you walk in 1 o'clock in the morning, you know. And the Most High has always protected me in those spaces. It was Florida that really, surprisingly, somebody felt the need to steal my $20. But never in New York. I know it happens to a lot of people in New York. But not in New York. Anybody rob? No. Praise be to the Most High. Praise be to the Most High. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and boogie. Oh, I had another. So maybe I'll come back and make these. I don't want to make these too long. But I wanted to come back and talk about inheritance. And something that I saw that really stuck with me. It says a wise man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. So I want to come back and talk about inheritance and how we look at what we leave our children and whether or not we're preparing our children to maintain that which we work so hard to give them and bestow onto them. So we'll come back and talk about that. For right now, I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna go eat pollo tropical. Although pollo tropical don't come for me. I don't really got no personal beefs with you, but you did allow somebody to do like 3 back-to-back ring ups on that Gigi. But yeah, you know. Well, the credit card company gonna handle it. So anyway, everybody have a blessed day. Again, comment below if anybody has been robbed or stolen or some weird charges appear on your credit, and how did you deal with it? Let us know. Comments below. We can all learn from one another. All right, bless. I'm sorry about that 13. And Jason, how did that work out though? Let us know how that worked out. The moral theft is why only 2 people know my vision. Oh wait, I'm sorry, I didn't see all you guys' things. Theft, the moral decline. Yep, is regards to business. Intellectual theft is why only 2 people know my vision. Yeah, because they'll, and it was this. Yeah, then they wonder why you want to hit them. Jason. No, for real though. When you work hard for your things, hold on. Maybe your comments is disappearing. That's why I'm not seeing it. When you work hard for your things and somebody comes and takes it, it's not a nice feeling. It's not a nice feeling. I'm sorry, I wasn't ignoring you guys' comments. It just disappeared. I don't know what's going on here. Hey, welcome to the comment section. I saw the title and had to click. Don't nothing tastes better than free food. You funny. Don't nothing taste better. I guess they was like, yo, come on, yo, arroz con pollo. We got some free food. It'll catch up with them because free food could run your belly. Them say, I forgot the saying now. About the craving puppy. Something about said about the craving puppy. When you greedy, you know what I mean? You gotta be careful with that. But you know how it is. What goes around comes around. That's what we have to realize. We only barring against time when we stealing. Because eventually it's going to hit us. And when it does, we're going to cry foul. We're going to say how unjust it is. Like that person who stole $13,000. Like that stuff is going to come back when you least expect it. Why do these type of things? But some people don't see it that way. They just bartering for the short term. It felt good. I needed it. You go and ask. Better you go ask than you steal. Can I have this? You know what I'm saying? Somebody somewhere is going to be willing to help you out. But to steal it and then act as though you did nothing. And it starts within the children. You watch the children. You watch how they move when they go and they take stuff and snatch stuff and think that they're entitled to it. You have to pull them up in those spaces. When we were young, I know I said I was going. See, I was talking. When we were young, we couldn't bring home nothing. When I say nothing, I mean nothing that belonged to anybody else. If cell phones wasn't in back then, but if somebody had a cell phone cover and they said, "Oh, you could borrow it, Amuna, you could borrow it," and I go home with a cell phone cover that my parents didn't give me, they had like spidey eyes. They'd be like, "Where'd you get that from?" And you're like, "Oh, my friend Tasha gave it to me." They'd be like, "Well, bring it back to Tasha." You know what I mean? Nothing that wasn't yours. They'd be like, "Don't borrow people things. Don't bring it here." So, that was something that is ingrained in me, is instilled in me. Don't just because when you borrow somebody's stuff, and I'll leave with this. When you borrow someone's stuff, you are responsible for that thing as long as it is in your possession. And you are responsible to return that thing back to the individual in the same way in which they gave it to you. And if you do not, now you're obligated to restore that whole thing onto that person. These are the things that cause problems in relationships and communities and business partners and ventures. Things that would go right, these are the things that make it go wrong, because people don't respect other people in the same way they would want other people to respect them. I don't remember if you guys remember this Martin episode a long time ago when he lent, I think Tommy lent Martin that was funny. Tommy lent Martin like this suitcase, this traveling luggage, okay? I think that was how it was. Tommy lent Martin this like brand new traveling luggage, and then when Martin goes to give it back, it's all janky and jacked up. I don't know if you guys remember that episode. And they start beefing over the fact that he borrowed something from his friend and did not return it in the same condition that he borrowed it in. We want to talk about community. These are the things that a lot of people don't want to talk about because they seem small and minuscule. These are the things that make it all fall apart. Because, oh, I never forget when I lent you such and such, or I gave you my brand new lawnmower and you brought back the blade dull, or, you know what I mean? Or my mangoes was hanging over in your yard and you stole all my mangoes off the tree. These are the things that cause beef and internal strife. And we have to learn how to deal with one another. Or you steal people's lunch out of the fridge at work, you know what I mean? All kind of madness like this. Anyway. I'm going to go ahead and log off, y'all, and marinate on this poor Chapacal conversation here. Lime and cayenne pepper. Cleanse your system. I'll be back another time, though. All right? Everybody have a blessed day. Comment below. Let me know. Am I tripping, or is this just madness? Madness. All right. Let me make sure you guys didn't say anything before I go. The things are not coming up on the screen. All right, then. Bless.